Alright, looks like we're ready to send it over to Snowfats for Hotline Miami. Go ahead and take it away.
Hi, this is Hotline Miami. Top down, up. Interesting game. Kind of graphic, so warning of that in advance. Yeah, okay, I got A pluses on every level. That's how you know I'm good at this game, by the way. And we're gonna be running an interesting category, which is gonna have a lot of. Normally for Hotline Miami, the category is New Game Plus all levels, which has. I'll just start. So are you ready for countdown? Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, thanks. That was a hard button press. But normally we run a category called New Game Plus all levels, which lets us play in New Game Plus so we have everything already unlocked. And we basically just play through the game how someone would normally play through the game, except fast. And this is New Game Plus Any %, which is the less popular version of New Game Any %, even though New Game Any % is technically the slower category. New Game Plus Any should be the fastest category. It's not, because there's a lot of really annoying menuing that happens in this category that no one likes dealing with, so no one's ever actually like grinded runs out. And if you're unfamiliar with the game, you saw a pretty good demo right there of just kind of run around and kill people really quickly. The New Game Plus menuing here is the thing that people don't like about it, is you have to manually select both your mask and your level every single time. And if you don't know what the masks are, the masks give you essentially different abilities. Normally, you don't have an ability and you'll gain different masks throughout the run that you can wear, and these different masks will give you different abilities. And it turns out a few of them are really good for speedrunning, and the others are either fun or bad or both. And you're gonna be seeing this mask that I've been using, Brandon, a lot. Actually, I could use Richter on this one. One of the interesting things about New Game Plus Any % is the fact that you have the sort of neutral mask selection every time, because you always start from a restart of the level, rather than if you did New Game Plus all levels, you would start the next level already with the mask you want selected. I'm messing this up a little bit, excuse me. Excuse me. Nice shotgun, really. Nice shotgun, really helps me out. And that's why we don't, break the mold and try using a mask other than Brandon or Tony, because they don't typically work out. The two things you need to do to go fast in this game are you need to be able to kill fast. I didn't even get an A+, unbelievable. You need to be able to kill fast, and you need to be able to go fast. Brandon makes you move about 30% fast. Oh yeah, by the way, there's skips in New Game Any and New Game Plus Any. So a lot of the game you may not end up seeing. Like this one, we're supposed to go through a level and have fun and play a video game. I don't like doing that. That's terrible, honestly. It's just terrible game design. Give me a D-, I don't even care. And recently, in New Game Any and New Game Plus Any, new skips have been found that lets the time drop pretty drastically from about 18 or 19 minutes down to like less than 16 or 17. And I'm a little late here, oh well. Hi dog, bye dog. And we're good. Come on, thank you. And largely, what you want to be doing, I mentioned before, you want to kill fast or go fast. Tony's ability is that you get killing fists, which means that you can, as it's implied, you can kill enemies with your fists. Where you may have seen that I messed up a little bit on that one level, Overdose, and I ended up having to knock someone down by punching him. If I had Tony, I could have just dropped the gun and killed him outright by punching him, which would have been really nice. Also, if I knock someone down, you can start executing them. Tony executes really fast. Tony is like the go-to mask for... Not Charlie. Tony is the go-to mask for killing things very quickly and, like, in general, safely. Brandon is more high risk, high reward, and he basically just makes you move faster. And it's a blessing and a curse, because you can dodge things a lot better and you can approach things that you normally wouldn't be able to, like that. Actually, you may be able to do that with the other masks, but I'm just going to say that you can't. Easy, I love the double barrel. There's a double barrel shotgun like in the other room over there that I really want right now. I love the double barrels in this game, and I was ecstatic to see not only are there monkeys all over this venue, honoring all the grind monkeys who have come to just run their games for people's amusement, but also that there was a double barrel shotgun. This place is perfect. There's too much to explain on this level, so I'm not going to, because Clean Hit's probably the most technical level in the game. And it's, yeah, there we go. That'll happen. I didn't shoot the right person at the first right. Hi. Well, he's gone. Those guys are supposed to be, all have Uzis and be very scary, but if you hug the right wall, they can't see you for some reason. We never did figure out why that happens. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. And that's the gist of Hotline. There's a lot of variation that can happen in Hotline, and most of it you're gonna have to react to kind of suddenly, which makes it, I feel that makes it a very fun game to run every single time. Oh, neighbor skip is a thing. We don't run New Game Plus any %, so you might see me not be happy most of the time. That's because I'm running a category I would rather not run. But it deserves a good show off because it's an interesting category. Excuse me. You don't need that. Come on. Come on. So if you saw Decadence, you may have noticed that we can kind of just get people outside the building on some levels. And like this, do that. You can take that. Thank you. Come see me. You didn't go the angle I wanted you to. Thank you. And we can just get in the car. Turns out if the car is facing vertically and you clip into it, it basically just takes you to the next thing, whatever it's supposed to take you to. And if the car is horizontal, which it has been on a few levels, that's why I'm not just skipping every level, you can't skip it. If you glitch into the car, all it's going to do is restart the level with no sound on. This is a boss fight, by the way. I don't know if you could notice that. Boss fights in Hotline are kind of interesting because bosses don't tend to translate very well into a game that's, you know, kind of very fast-paced, everything dies in one hit. Trying to have, like, bosses is just kind of weird in it. Oh, he's dead, by the way. Yeah, sorry about that. And yeah, that was actually a pretty clean neighbors skip. That can be really iffy because you need to leave the guy in the top left room for a while unattended while you bring a second person in there, and sometimes he likes to leave the room, and we don't like that. Oh, push it. Now we're going to start getting into levels where previously we couldn't skip them. I mentioned that we cannot skip like levels where the car is horizontal, but also the music is just really loud on this level. That's just the way the game is. But there's hang on, excuse me. There's like sort of an invisible. You want to be nice? Thank you. He's not being nice, or I'm being really bad. There we go. Never mind. He's a little too far away. Basically, there's an invisible wall that makes it kind of awkward to move around here, and you can tell I haven't practiced this in a long while. But if I knock him down such that he's... Ignore what happened there, why he disappeared. Nobody knows. It's because the people who made this game probably didn't know how to program video games. It's really unfortunate. But if the car is horizontal and rubbing up against an invisible wall, like, let me see if I can't show it off here. This one is not rubbing against an invisible wall, so I can move behind it. If it's rubbing up against an invisible wall for some reason, you can just skip the level. Oh, okay. I got scared when I saw both gunmen start like running in at like slightly different times. Excuse me. I love the double barrel. Boop. This level is a little different than normal. Rather than killing every enemy, you kind of just kill 10 or 11, and then, yeah, you leave because the police show up because they want to ruin your fun. I don't want to be there. It's really difficult to explain to the cops why you just wiped out, like, a lot of people and their dogs. Like, there's one right there on the left. And, well, yeah, hot and heavy. You need to keep track also of what levels you've done in New Game plus any %. In New Game Any, there's menuing to select each level as well, but because you haven't completed the game yet, it automatically jumps you to the next available level. New Game plus Any does not do that. Hi, you feeling okay? That guy just, I don't know. The cycles are off in New Game Plus any percent as well because you're at slightly different times. It's different. Excuse me. Yeah, no, I was afraid of that. Ah. Excuse me, technical difficulties here. You wanna? Okay, thank you. Comfy Uzi, dude. Making this game easy. He was supposed to get shot and die. He didn't get shot and die. It's very unfortunate. Oh well. This is one of the hardest levels generally, just speaking, both casually and speedrunning wise. And it's pretty obvious why. There's a lot of enemies on this level. And they're spread all over the place. This is really where the game ramps it up and kind of takes everything to 11. Because previously, they started adding more like fat enemies. They started adding like more gunmen and stuff. Ooh, that's bad. Excuse me, just peek you through there. I was trying to slit his throat, but I missed. Oh no. This is fine here. This is not fine here anymore. Nah, this is fine here. I lied. Excuse me. And we're out. They get just in the middle. I hope I got that through just the middle window. You have to land that goalpost every time or it doesn't count as beating the level. 63 is a okay-ish time if you didn't have any deaths. But, I'm still having fun. Oh, Deadline. Dude, Deadline is like actually, by quite a large margin, my favorite level in the game. There's a lot of variety in it, which means, of course, we're not going to actually play this level anymore. And it's the fastest level in the game now. Which is, yeah, great. Thanks. I love skips. I love this category. And, yeah, Trauma. We found like the best and the worst skips in this game because we found skips that saved a lot of time. Like being able to skip both Push It and Deadline saves a whole lot of time. For some reason, we can't find a way to skip this level. The slow, sort of stealth level in a high speed, like pulse pounding action game. But, you'll take what you can get. We did, however, find a skip for what many people would probably argue is the worst level in the game for speedrunning, Assault, which is coming up right after this. And man, oh man, the skip is probably worse than just playing the level. Also, I like this category for one thing. I get to Alt F4 the game mid-run because it is faster to close the game down and restart it than it is to wait for that cutscene to finish. We tested this in New Game Any %. We found all the points where the game actually saves, like, your progress, and it turns out the moment you hit that cutscene, it counts you as having essentially beaten that level. So if you Alt F4 and you just reload the game, Assault will be unlocked. So this is fair game. I'm just gonna shoot you guys, yeah. I'm just gonna shoot you again, hang on. We want you. You can see this is level with like a ton of police. This is normally like one of the most dangerous levels in like all time for any game. Feeling good? Okay, thank you. You're gonna go for a thing, aren't you? Yeah. Where is it? Okay, no, he'll be fine. Yeah. So he's just gonna go grab that real fast, and then I can just lure him over here this way. No enemies are coming out. Excuse me. Enemies like to respond in two ways when you're near them in this game. They either like to walk very slowly away from you or very quickly away from you. And as far as I know, there's no serious reason why any of that happens, and you just kind of have to deal with what the game throws at you, which makes some of those skips. There's no reason Push It was that bad. That was just me being trash. Oh, Vengeance is another level I actually really like. It's a pretty fast-paced, skill-intensive level, which means we're not going to actually play it. We're just going to skip it. Please don't shoot me. Thank you. He just shot through the... Well, you're cheating, dude. Can't believe him. So let me just... I missed.
Just out of curiosity, what is your favorite chapter that you do play relatively as intended?
That's a good question, actually. There's a lot of decent ones. Probably either Clean Hit or Full House, because those ones are solid. I can't reach them. It's okay. Anything that happens at Calithon stays at Calithon. No one tell anyone about this run. They'll never know.
I don't think I really want to argue with the guy with a chicken suit and a machine gun.
Oh, speaking of machine guns, this is another level that is actually I like a lot because you get to use Richter to good effect. It's been years and years in this category where both Tony and you've noticed I've been trying to use Richter basically whenever possible, which is not that often because Tony and Brandon have just completely dominated this game for like a long time. And one good thing that New Game Plus any percent, this bullet can kill you, by the way. You don't want to get hit by that one. That's a really sad way to lose a run. I'm not kidding.
I sense there's a bit of I sense this comes from experience.
Oh yeah, no. He has 3 deer on his wall. Those can be random animals. It's kind of weird that. Oh, let's censor that. I'm sorry. We can't show violence in a game like this. Not with there's children watching. Can't show that either. This is the game like you wanted, right? This is what you guys wanted to see. Because this is what you get when you have me do a run for you. But yeah, Brandon and Tony have, and for most part still, basically dominate this entire game just because they're really good maths. They kill fast and they go fast. And that's all you really need to do. So it's nice to see these underdogs show up. Like for Vengeance, if you play through the level, I have a strategy where you use Jake, which is like the snake mask, which I think is a really cool strategy, and it's pretty consistent. And you're not allowed to menu skip here because arbitrary rules, but because this, until you get on that bike, it doesn't count you as having beat the last level. So if you were to just menu skip here in New Game Plus, technically your run's invalid because you basically didn't do what you were supposed to. Hi. Okay, I missed a knife there. I would have hit the guy in the bottom left, but I would have had to wait for these guys to be in a good position to hit them with melee. So it looks like I was bad there, but I was actually just throwing you all for a ruse. I lost almost no time from that. It was 86 seconds on that level, though, apparently. That's not very good. Don't need that. Just do this. And fun and games. This is pretty interesting at the end of Hotline, how you completely change characters to this biker character with, like, knives and stuff, because... Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. I should have dodged lower right. And we're good. Because it plays very different from like the rest of the game, and especially fun and games. Like Safe House is not that bad, but excuse me, dog. But fun and games is actually a pretty difficult level to do quickly. And we're good. Because there's a lot of enemies just all over the place, and you no longer can pick up guns, which is a really scary thing suddenly to have happen to you. There's a skip coming up here that is actually allowed in categories like New Game Plus all levels that I haven't practiced in months because who plays video games really? But this skip is allowed because the main rules for New Game Plus all levels is that it feels more like no major skips. And the skip we're going to do here is going to be basically clipping through a wall. However, we're not skipping any major parts of the game. And we're not skipping any. Don't take my knives. Don't do it. He's danger close to that knife. Gave you one job. And we allow skips like this because basically all that skipping is the walk out, as opposed to like Decadent skip, which actually skips the entire level. My cat is a phone. And yeah, we can't skip this part either because doesn't count you as beating the thing until you get here. You get the gist of it now. The game's almost over. This is the very last level. And yeah, we're gonna confront the big bad dudes who are doing things and mash through text, because that's a very climactic ending to a game like this.
Got time for quick donation?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 time. So yeah, we got plenty of time for donations.
Well then. Got a quick donation for $5 from Jackintosh. It says, "It's my favorite speed, Dad. Snowy. Have fun. Love you."
My boy Jackintosh. Can someone tell Jackintosh to go to NASA, please? Could you tell Jackintosh to go to NASA, please? Jackintosh wants to hear you tell him to go to NASA, please. If I tell him to go to NASA, he's not going to do it. I need someone else to do it. I'm getting let down here. Unbelievable, these guys. Where do you find these people? Yeah, for this run, direct all your complaints to Denison, which are Dennis Whedon and Jonathan Stoderstreim. They made this game. This is all their fault. And yeah, that's Hotline. The soundtrack for this game is really good, by the way. Just look it up on YouTube. Don't pay real money. Don't ever pay real money.
For some reason, I thought there was like a boss on that last level.
No.
My
No,
mistake.
it looks like something cool is going to happen, and then you walk into a sewer and look at people like with weird persona masks, and it's just kind of...
So we're quickly switching over to a brief little pause. We're going to switch over to Bad Rats, which is also going to be done by Snowfats. It's going to be a real quick run. Don't blink or you're going to miss it.